Bill O'Reilly is joining us for a shortened period of time today just because of scheduling, but Bill is here. I've got to cover several things. First of all, your thoughts on the opioid crisis, Bill.
Well, when I was studying at Harvard, you remember that, Beck? You were up there with me in Cambridge?
Yeah, no, I went to Yale. I crossed the campus for about 20 minutes.
I actually did a paper on drug rehab, and this is a solution to the opioid problem, because all of this other business is not going to solve it.
Nope.
Might go down a little bit, but it's not going to solve it. It's forced drug rehabilitation. You take the market away. So how that works in certain places that do it, like Singapore, which is a fascist country, is that if you are caught committing a crime and you have heroin or opioids in your bloodstream, in addition to whatever sentence you get for your crime, you have to go to rehab, and that's inpatient rehab, all right? And the average sentence in Singapore is 22 months. So there are no drug addicts in Singapore because the cops know who they are. They bring them in, they test them, and they send them to drug rehab for 22 months. There's no market. Could not do that here. ACLU be all over you. But you could do is a choice that you go to inpatient drug rehab, all right, or we give you a very stiff sentence for your crime. So most people would take the inpatient, and you've got to attack it on the market side. And then, I've always said that any heroin dealer is not a nonviolent person. Any opioid dealer should get as much jail time as possible. A pusher should really go away. Now, that put me at odds with President Obama, who didn't see it as a violent crime or anything really that bad. I do.
I would suggest that we go the way of Portugal, myself, which is a radical departure from everything else anyone else is trying, and it is working there in miraculous ways. Let me go to Uranium One. Bill, why was this informant who knows everything about this, why were they silenced by the Obama administration? And did this informant, was any of his work, was it available even to Congress in oversight?
Doesn't seem to be. It looks like Eric Holder shut this thing down almost 100% from any sunlight. News reports were non-existent. I didn't know about it. Did you know about it?
No, I didn't.
I didn't know about it.
I didn't know it.
Okay, and we're on it. I mean, that's what we do for a living. So the Justice Department tamped it down, and there's one guy who was on the street and who can tell you about why the Russians were bribing people and how they were bribing and all of that. But what the guy cannot tell you, and he can now, he's going to testify in front of Congress, so we'll get an idea of why the money was flowing from Russia into the USA to get uranium. Okay, but what we won't get, and what is the key to this story, is why were millions of dollars flowing into the Clinton Foundation at the same period of time?
Right. From Uranium One and Uranium One Kremlin-tied organizations. I mean, it's clear that this was a bribe or an attempted bribe. Clear.
Well, you got to establish that. And Bill Clinton got $500,000 to go to Moscow to speak. And then at the very time that the 7 government agencies in America voted to allow the Uranium One deal to go through to Putin, there were 7. Hillary Clinton was only one of them, all right? Millions of dollars are flowing into the Clinton Foundation on donations from Russia and other, concerns. So that's the story. That's really the story. They're two stories separately, but why was the Clinton Foundation benefiting, and Bill Clinton himself, and why did Eric Holder shut this thing down so nobody could know about it?
So Donald Trump said that this was this generation's Watergate. I disagree. I think this is much bigger than Watergate.
You have to establish it, though, Beck, and it's not going to be easy to do that, because we don't have subpoena powers overseas. You can't go into Russia and say, why were you sending millions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation? They're not going to answer your questions. What you can do, though, is basically build a case it's a circumstantial case, but it's certainly worth doing, that this deal was rotten from the jump. And Eric Holder knew it. So did the FBI Director Robert Mueller, who's now the special counsel in front of trying to figure out what the Trump campaign did with Russia. Now, Mueller's got to be the first witness in front of the congressional committees.
Are we going to be able to get our uranium back?
No. And
so nobody goes to jail, and we've lost our uranium.
Sure I don't know if and nobody goes to jail. You used it to build a case. Putin wanted the uranium to make money. All right, we've established that. Putin wanted the uranium from the USA to go to Russia so he could sell it and make money, because at that time the Russian treasury was hurting. So that's why they did it. It's a money deal. We know that. But now we have to find out the two questions that I posed to you.
So let me switch to gears. Same kind of players. Fusion GPS. The New York Times now says that Clinton or the Clinton campaign and the DNC lied to them for over a year and lied to the American people. They were responsible for the Fusion GPS dossier. They paid for it. They were also, Fusion GPS, also deeply in bed with the Kremlin. And they were the ones who helped arrange the people at that Trump Tower meeting. One of them, we now know, was a guy who was former GRU, which his specialty was political deceit and disinformation in foreign countries. And what's crazy is the FBI was aware of it. They knew that they saw the dossier. They must have known that this was funded by the Clintons and also had taint from the Soviet Union, former Soviet Union, and yet they hired them and used this document or this dossier to be able to get to the FISA court. How much corruption is there?
Boy, this is right up your alley, Beck. You got everything going. Man,
I mean, it is.
This is right up.
This is
alley. He loves this.
This is
but you
bad.
Missed the biggest thing, Beck. You missed the biggest thing.
What?
Hillary Clinton comes out this week and says, "I didn't know about this. I didn't know my campaign was paying for this dossier." How is that possible?
It's not.
You're
None of this is possible. None of this is possible. None of this.
Listen to me. You are in charge of your campaign. Your campaign is spending money trying to get dirt on your opponent. It thinks it has the dirt through this phony dossier. And nobody comes and tells you this? Come on. When she said that this week, I went, are you kidding me?
Even when this dossier came out, nobody leaned over and went, we paid for that. I mean, come on.
Well, no. They had to go and tell her, we're going to have Trump in Moscow doing X, Y, and Z. This is great. And she said, well, nobody told me.
Unbelievable.
I mean, my God.
Unbelievable.
And that was it. That was the end. And the press goes, that's right. Nobody told her. That's logical. Oh, my unbelievable.
Okay.
Now, but wait, wouldn't the other side, though, say the same thing about the meeting with the Russian lawyers? I mean, that happened in the Trump Tower. Why did they didn't go upstairs and tell Dad?
The meeting with the Russian lawyers. Stu, right?
Yes.
I'm talking to Stu?
Yes, you're talking to Stu.
The meeting with the Russian lawyers got 3 weeks of hysterical coverage.
True.
Hysterical, okay? Because Donald Trump Jr. got an email that said, please meet with Olga, or whoever her name was, because she has dirt on Hillary. And Donald Trump Jr. goes, okay, I'll go meet with her for 15 minutes and see what she's got. 3 weeks! Okay? He didn't pay any money. He didn't do anything other than show up, and Olga didn't have anything. Now we have the Clinton campaign buying phony dossiers. And how much coverage did it get?
Very little.
2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is amazing.
All right, I'm going to let you calm down for a second, and then because he's a little heated. Yeah, and we're going to come back because Bill is launching a lawsuit, and we're going to talk about that when we come back.
Glenn Beck.
So, Bill O'Reilly is here, and Bill, you have complicated my life, and I don't appreciate it. And I just want to ask you a tough question here. Is there any doubt in your mind that if you were lying to me, or if I found out that some of these things that are said about you were true, that I would turn on you hard?
No, and I would expect you to do that. Nobody wants to be deceived. So, in order to protect you, I have to take some offensive action now because enough's enough. And I've had my whole career altered and been smeared. And so now my team has said, well, if they say something untrue, we're going to sue them. So we have filed suit today against a man who made a bunch of crap up, and he's going to have to go through the system, and we'll see what the truth is.
Can you tell me what this affects, or what this is, or who this guy is?
It's more of the same. It's the same. I think I'm the only one in the 100 people now who have been accused of harassment that continues to say I didn't mistreat anyone. I didn't. And it doesn't matter what I say. These people are convicting allegations, and the media does that, and then people react to what the media says, and I have no defense other than if you lie about me and in a public way, you are now going to be sued, and that's what we're doing. So we're going to post a suit on BillO'Reilly.com on, the filing, and everybody can go there and see it. And we'll let the process play out. It's all I can do. I wish it would go away. I prayed it would go away, but it doesn't seem to be going away. So we're going to have to take some offensive action.
Okay, you're breaking up horribly here. I don't know if you're on a cell phone or if you're moving around.
No, I'm on a regular phone, Beck. Can you hear me clearly now?
I can now. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
What would be the expected outcome of this? I mean, here's the problem, Bill. Everybody that I know of says, "Come on, man, nobody pays $32 million if you didn't do anything."
Okay, but why are you believing that? Why would anybody? Because the New York Times printed it. The New York Times knows that I cannot, speak specifically about anything because of legal restraints. They know that. We told them that. I can say that in their first article last April, they weren't even close to being accurate in what they printed about settlement money and things like that. I can say that. But they know that I'm hamstrung. So people believe what they want to believe, Beck. They believe what they want to believe. Okay, that's what it comes down to. So Killing England remains the number one selling book in the United States. BillO'Reilly.com has actually added premium members. So the people who like and respect me believe me. The people who do not like and respect me believe the worst. And then there's the middle who don't really care. But they hear things. And then, they can't check it out. How do they know what's true?
No, I think there's
It is very, one point. It is very dangerous, and this is what's happening in America, to take allegations as facts. That is dangerous.
So I would agree with you on that, and I think there is a large number of Americans that don't know that there is no way to verify. I'm one of these. I happen.
But you can verify something.
No, I happen to know you, and I can verify some things that you have told me, But I care deeply about the issue, and I also am very concerned about, witch hunts and this becoming the crucible.
One is underway, but there are two things here.
Quickly, I've got 30 seconds.
When it comes to women being mistreated, That's the best word. Okay? Every American should want one thing: justice. Would you agree with that?
Yes, 15 seconds.
The other thing that's verifiable is I've been in the business 43 years. Never once was there a complaint filed against me with any HR in 12 different companies. Verifiable.
Glenn Beck.